There was a time I thought joy had to be earned, that it came after I'd done enough, achieved enough, healed enough, that it was the reward waiting at the end of struggle. Well, if you've watched a few of my videos, you probably know by now that I used to think everything had to be earned. And joy, like love, was just one of those amazing things that how could you get it without making the effort to earn it, right? But joy was never waiting at the finish line. It was always right here, quietly humming beneath the noise, a frequency that never stopped calling me home. Joy is not a reaction to something good. It's an energy that exists before reason. It doesn't depend on circumstance. It's a vibration of truth. And when we live from that vibration, something magical happens. The body heals faster, the mind clears, and life begins to flow with effortless synchronicity. Joy is the language of the soul. It's how the universe recognizes itself through you. When you let joy lead, your energy field expands. You become luminous, magnetic, free, and in that light, everything you've been trying to attract begins to find you naturally. The world often teaches us that happiness is external, a result of achievement or control, that it must be pursued. But joy is different. Joy isn't a feeling of everything is perfect. Joy is the remembering that you are safe to feel alive even when things are imperfect. It's the openness that says, life still moves through me, even here. Think of joy as resonance, not excitement, not temporary pleasure, but a stable, radiant frequency that aligns you with your natural state of wholeness. It doesn't need to be loud. Sometimes joy is quiet. The warmth of sunlight through a window, a deep breath after a long cry, the laughter that returns when you least expect it. The truth is, joy heals, not because it denies pain, but because it transforms how energy moves through it. When you choose joy, you don't bypass emotion, you alchemize it. You bring light into the shadow and remind the energy that it's safe to flow again. Your energy field responds instantly to joy. When you feel joy, your electromagnetic heart field expands, measurable by science, but felt even more deeply through presence. Your cells receive that frequency as safety, your nervous system relaxes, and your aura begins to shimmer. That's why joy is medicine. It restores coherence between your mind, body, and spirit. It recalibrates you to harmony. And the more you live in that harmony, the more you naturally attract people, opportunities, and moments that match it. Because energy always seeks resonance. So many of us have forgotten joy because we learned to survive instead. We became serious, responsible, disciplined, as if joy were a distraction from our goals. But joy was never the opposite of discipline, it's the fill of alignment. When you are joyful, your energy becomes efficient. You create with ease, you connect without fear, you live from abundance rather than from depletion. Think of children, how they play, how they glow. They're not joyful because life is easy. They're joyful because they are fully present. Their energy doesn't hold back. That's the secret. Joy isn't something to find, it's something to allow. There was a season in my life when everything felt heavy. I was doing all the right things, meditating, journaling, manifesting, but something inside felt dull. I was living consciously, yet joylessly. When I made the difficult decision to get a divorce, I remember my sister told me, I'm so sorry. I never knew you were this unhappy. And quite honestly, I didn't know either until I reached the breaking point. But one quiet morning after my divorce, as I was sipping coffee by the window, I caught the steam rising in the sunlight and felt an unexpected wave of gratitude. It was simple, nothing extraordinary. But in that moment, I remembered what joy feels like when you stop chasing it. It was already there, waiting for me to notice. Joy isn't fragile, it's foundational. It doesn't disappear because life gets messy. It only hides beneath layers of protection we've built to keep ourselves safe from disappointment. But the truth is, joy doesn't make you naive, it makes you resilient. It keeps your heart and energy open enough to keep receiving life even after you've been hurt. So, how do we begin to cultivate joy not as a mood, but as a frequency? The first step is to clear the misconception that joy requires permission. You don't have to earn the right to feel good. You don't have to wait for external validation or perfect timing. Joy begins in the smallest choice, a deep breath that says, I'm here. From there, it grows through awareness. Notice what expands your energy and what contracts it. Notice what feels light versus what feels heavy. Joy always moves toward expansion. It's the body's way of saying, this direction is aligned. Sometimes it's as simple as moving your body, laughing for no reason, or stepping outside to feel the air on your skin. The mind will say, well, this isn't productive, but the heart will know better because every moment of genuine joy recognizes your energy field. It resets your vibration higher than hours of mental effort ever could. And when you start living in that higher frequency, healing becomes natural. Your body begins to release tension because it no longer needs to protect against fear. Your emotions flow freely because they're not trapped by suppression. Your intuition sharpens because the noise quiets. Joy doesn't avoid pain, it transmutes it. It says, thank you for showing me where I stopped flowing. And in that recognition, energy begins to move again. That's why tears can follow laughter, and laughter can follow tears. Both are expressions of energy releasing. Both are pathways to coherence. When you live in joy, you stop chasing alignment and start embodying it. Joy doesn't require outcomes to prove its worth. It simply is. And that's where magnetism begins. Because the universe doesn't respond to your words or your goals, it responds to your vibration. When your frequency is joyful, life mirrors that energy. You begin to attract not through effort, but through resonance. Synchronicities appear, the right people, the perfect timing, the unexpected opportunities that feel too precise to be coincidence. But they're not coincidence, they're coherence. They're your energy field communicating with the field of life itself. I've learned that joy and abundance are the same energy expressed at different volumes. Abundance isn't the reward for joy, it's the reflection of it. Let me say that again because it's so important. Abundance isn't the reward for joy, it's the reflection of it. When you radiate joy, you broadcast to the universe, I'm open to flow. And flow always responds. If you feel drawn, comment, I am open to flow to affirm it. Some people fear that if they live in joy, they'll lose their edge and that they'll stop striving or caring. But joy doesn't make you complacent, it makes you creative. When you're joyful, you see possibilities where fear saw problems. You act not from pressure, but from inspiration. Your work, your relationships, your presence, they all become extensions of your inner radiance. Imagine your energy field like a sun, always burning, always giving light. When you live from worry or scarcity, clouds form around it. You can't stop being the sun, but the light becomes dimmer. Joy clears the clouds. It doesn't add anything new, it just reveals what was always shining beneath. Joy is also deeply connected to gratitude, not the kind you force, but the kind you feel when your heart softens enough to see the beauty in the ordinary. Every moment of genuine gratitude expands your electromagnetic field. It tells your energy there is enough. And that signal multiplies itself. The universe echoes it back as more to be grateful for. Sometimes joy looks like stillness. Sometimes it looks like movement. Sometimes it's the quiet comfort of solitude. Other times it's the laughter that erupts when you forget to be careful. Joy doesn't have a single shape because it isn't something you do, it's something you let happen through you. And in that flow, your energy becomes radiant. People can feel it. They may not know what changed, but they'll sense peace around you, a lightness that feels like home. That's because your frequency is transmitting coherence, and coherence heals. It reminds others of their own capacity to feel alive. When you live joyfully, you become medicine without even trying. Your energy field communicates safety. It invites others to breathe easier. You don't need to fix anyone. Your vibration does the work silently, beautifully, effortlessly. But joy also asks for presence. You can't experience it in the past or the future. It only exists in the now. Joy is a portal. The moment you enter it, time softens and your whole being begins to harmonize. That's why moments of true joy feels timeless because in that instant, you are fully aligned with the eternal. The more you cultivate this, the more your energy field expands. And expansion is magnetic, not in the way of drawing things to you, but in the way of aligning you with them. The more coherent your vibration, the faster your reality rearranges to reflect it. And yet, joy doesn't have to be constant to be powerful. It just needs to be sincere. 1 minute of true joy can shift your frequency for hours. One breath of gratitude can reset your nervous system. This is how subtle joy's power really is. It works quietly but deeply. So maybe joy isn't something we create. Maybe it's something we remember. The same way we remember how to breathe, how to love, how to feel. Because joy was never gone. It's the current that flows underneath every emotion, waiting for us to soften enough to let it through. When you live from that vibration, everything you do becomes lighter. Work feels like expression, relationships feel like reflection, and even challenges become opportunities to return to your natural frequency. You stop asking, how do I attract what I want? And start asking, how can I stay aligned with joy long enough for it to unfold? The answer is simple. Return to the heart. Breathe, listen, move, laugh, create, share, allow. The mind overcomplicates and the heart simplifies. And joy is the language of the heart made visible. If you could see your energy right now, you'd see it shimmering with potential. Every moment you choose joy, you strengthen that field. Every time you forgive, release, or celebrate, your vibration expands a little wider. Joy doesn't mean you will never feel pain again. It just means you'll move through it faster because you remember that pain isn't the whole story. The frequency beneath it is always joy, waiting to be felt again. So breathe this in with me now. In through the heart, out through the body. Feel your energy settling, softening, growing. Let that glow spread through your chest, your hands, your voice. Feel yourself expand into radiance. This is joy, not an emotion, but a state of being. Not something you perform, but something you allow. You are light remembering itself. You are the laughter of the universe taking human form. And every time you choose joy, you heal not only yourself, but everything connected to you. So live joyfully, not because life is perfect, but because joy itself is perfection in motion. It's the proof that even in uncertainty, you can still shine. And when you shine, you remind others that they can too. That's the secret of radiant living. Joy doesn't wait for healing, it creates it. Joy doesn't wait for abundance, it attracts it. Joy doesn't wait for love, it is love in its highest frequency. And maybe that's the whole purpose of being human, to experience this light, to embody it, and to let it ripple through the world, to live as proof that joy is not fragile, not rare, not conditional, but our natural state when we remember who we are. So, As you go about your day, remember, you don't have to chase joy. You are joy. You are the radiant frequency that heals and magnetizes effortlessly, simply by being yourself, fully, unapologetically here.